In today's video, we're going to take another look at Joomla 5. Oh my goodness, that's a bad start. We're going to talk about that. And you will notice this is a repeat from last week. So there you go. I'll explain all of that. By the way, this is the background picture for today's live stream. You're hardly ever going to see it, but over here, that's me. Hey, there's my lovely wife, Susan. And this was at J-Day USA back in April in Austin, Texas. And this handsome person here in the middle is Olivier Buissard, and he is joining me today, so it's going to be a much better stream. All right, so let me zip over to here, and now you can see me again. Hey there, Joomla fans. Tim Davis here. I'm a Joomla fan too. Thanks for tuning in to Watch Me Work live stream number 224. Yeah, last week's was 224 as well. But it was such a train wreck, I just pushed it off the side of the track and thought I would do it over again. Anyways, thanks for tuning in to my channel, where I show you my favorite extensions, tools, and tips for building and maintaining Joomla sites. I also work on Joomla sites, build them, maintain them, and migrate them to Joomla 4. Even updating to Joomla 5 in a little while if you want. Not that that's going to be that hard. Anyways, if you're looking to hire someone short-term or long-term, or even just get you out of spot, send me an email, tim@cybersalt.com, and let's talk. Today's video is brought to you by mysites.guru. Head on over to mysites.guru, get a free site audit for your Joomla site, and check out all the tools and information that will save you time and money managing one or multiple Joomla sites. And use coupon code BASICJoomla, you get your first month free. And as I always say, I think you get your first month free anyways, but you didn't always, so I'll throw the coupon in there because coupons are lonely if you don't use them, and I think you should make coupons happy as often as you can. All right, you see that little person just above me there? There's Olivier, and bear with me today because since switching to OBS for my streaming, this is the first time I've done Zoom, so I actually have to do my camera through Zoom so we can both be on screen and whatever, that will work. So that means I'm going to go to the view here and go gallery. There we are, side by side. Hello, Olivier.
Hello, Tim.
Can everybody hear Olivier? Just want to make sure I have the sound set up properly. And let's see here. Okay. Bjorn says little bald man, but I think that's because Bjorn is bald as well. So there you go. Yes.
I don't have a nice background.
Oh, you can't hear him very well. All right. Let's see here. Try again. Olivier, say something.
Yes, hello everyone.
Okay. I think that's going to be better. Oh, and there's Phil Taylor. Speaking of bald men, wow. The Sasquatch himself. Great. Okay, yeah, I turned on desktop audio. If there's anything weird happening with the audio, just let me know. I noticed last week the sad music at the end was doubling up because I had desktop on. All right, so yeah. Oh no. Oh, Bjorn says it's not just. Oh, it's just a statement. Oh yeah. Okay, Bjorn's not bald. All right, he was just having fun. All right, so last week was a bit of a train wreck because I was going to, we're going to take a look at Joomla 5, and I could not get it installed on the site that I was going to run a test on. And so what happened was, and credit to Bjorn in chat, he had suggested, he had said I have to be in Joomla 4.4, and could not, and he was right, and I was not, but I have so many numbers swimming in my head these days that I thought I had the latest Joomla, but of course 4.4 will not be the latest until next week on the 17th when it comes out, and so you need to be in 4.4. But anyways, we're going to take a look at that today, talk about Joomla 5, and just have a little bit better of a resource out there for people. So, all right, now I'm going to go to let you know, first of all, I want to show you Olivier's site. Now, how do I do this in this new thing here? There we go. Olivier's business is simplifyyourweb.com, and I'm going to bring that up here and paste that. How long has it you been making Joomla extensions, Olivier?
About 11 years now.
11 years.
Yeah.
All right. So what's your most popular extension?
Well, the one that was the most popular, especially at the beginning of my journey, was jQuery Easy.
Okay.
Yeah, that was the one that try and fixes issues with JavaScript and the libraries that are installed on websites.
Okay.
It's less used now because the extensions got better and Joomla got better, so there is no need of this plugin much more. But it's if you have jQuery installed on your website, you may need additional support. So
Okay.
just a
Cool.
jQuery is not part of Joomla 4 anymore, so that's why it's kind of dissipating.
Okay. Yeah, how do you feel about that as an extension developer when something you've done a lot on becomes not a thing anymore?
It's okay as long as you have other IDs in your pocket. If you have other extensions that can support you still. I mean, I have another one that's very popular. Is Latest News Enhanced, and one Trombinoscope Contacts. These are my most popular ones.
Okay. I just realized I don't have a way to have our faces on there where we're looking at the screen, but that's okay. I'll just cut back and forth here. All right. So, and I will get used to that because I'm going to just do that. Just like that. Okay. Joomla 5 release. Let's talk about Joomla 5 because, as I mentioned and keep telling people, everyone is kind of gun shy about Joomla big version jumps since Joomla 3 to Joomla 4 is a migration. And so, what is Joomla 5 going to break that's in Joomla 4 currently?
Well, I think the biggest hurdle will be the move to MySQL 8 because most of the hosts are still under MySQL 5. That's going to be an issue for people. So right now, you can ask your hosts if you can move to MySQL 8. That's one of the things you need to think of. Other than that, there is compatibility plugin for all extensions. So most of the websites will be able to migrate, or I mean to be updated to Joomla 5 easily, I think.
And the MySQL 8 requirement or the PHP 8.1 requirement, because that's the minimum for that, it's not really Joomla's fault. It's not really a Joomla thing. It's an other software thing. I have a couple of servers with Liquid Web, and cPanel is no longer updating CentOS 7, and so the guy called me up and said and as Phil points out, MySQL 8 was released in 2016, so. The guy from the company calls me up and he says, I'm really concerned about security of your server because your software's end of life coming up in June, and we want to make sure that you're able to use the latest stuff. And he says, I would like to talk to you about why you need a new server and we can't just update your server because this is not I want to explain the difference between an update and a migration. And I said, well, it's okay. I get it. In fact, the last thing I wanted was another conversation about the difference between migrating and updating and migrating. So yeah, software comes and goes, and versions come and go, and so the version, and for you can speak to this as a developer. Why do you not just keep your extensions working on every single version of PHP that ever exists under the sun?
Well, that is because there are actually functions that exist in some versions of PHP that are removed as you go ahead. So there is always a problem of compatibility between different versions like that. And it's as a developer, it's kind of a challenge because you want to make sure that your extensions are working with all possible versions of Joomla. And so you have also to consider, what are the minimum requirements for that Joomla version in terms of PHP or MySQL, and that's really a challenge. Yeah.
Yeah. I kind of picture it this way. If your job is making steering wheels for cars, and someone comes along and says, hey, I want you to keep making steering wheels that fit on this car from the 50s, and you're making a steering wheel, but in order for that to work, you got airbags, you've got all kinds of electronics you don't need to have there, but if you want to sell it to the bulk of things, you have to have your steering wheels up to date with safety and everything like that. And eventually, everybody who wants an old steering wheel, they're really happy to have an old steering wheel, but it's no way to run a company. Right? Yeah. If you spend a bunch of time on the current thing, and then you have to spend a bunch of time on the old thing that just is not working, is not safe, and whatnot, it's just going to wear you down, and it's going to make it hard for you to work on other things. So
yeah, but with Joomla 5, it was important to up the minimum requirements because, like Phil said in the chat, that it was released a while back. I mean, it's very old already, MySQL 8, and that there's so many websites and so many hosts that still only support MySQL 5. So knowing that Joomla 5 will be around for the next 4 years, we needed to make sure that these minimum technical requirements were adjusted.
yeah. Ivor asked, my server is running MariaDB 10.5. I suppose this is okay?
Yeah, 10.4 is the minimum. Yeah.
Okay, 10.4 is minimum. Okay. Yeah, so now let's talk a bit about getting to the point of being able to go to 5, because if you have a Joomla 3 site, you probably have a bunch of stuff that does not work in PHP 8.1. And so you are going to have to, so basically Joomla 4.4 is sort of going to be the rest point. If we view going to 5, it's going to be the rest point, like in a stairway where you're going to do a flight of stairs, stop and rest, get everything all together, and then you're going to move on. That's correct, right?
Yes, exactly. A little like Joomla 3.10 was or is still.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
So
go ahead.
no, sorry. No. This is the version that will really test all the requirements that are needed to go further to Joomla 5. So you may end up getting stuck in 4.4 until you meet those requirements.
Okay. Hey, hi to Alexandra Lise, who's in chat today. Nice to see you, Alexandra. Yes, and so basically, Joomla 4.4, you get your site. If you're migrating from 3 to 4, get your site running in 4.4. I've actually been doing that, just leaving things on PHP 7.4, because that way I can see that if something breaks during the migration or is not working, I know it's because of the Joomla version, not because of the PHP version. And then once I get everything going in 4.4, then you switch her to 8.1 and see if anything breaks. And if it does break, then you're going to have to drop to 8.0 and figure out what's not, well, not by then you should know with the errors, what's not working at 8.1, and then you can start to deal with that. Then once your Joomla 4 site is running in PHP 8.1, it's just going to be a simple update to go to Joomla 5, like all the other updates of minor versions that come out, right?
Yeah, what I've done is that when I have to move a site to Joomla 4, which I still have some to move, I up already the PHP and MySQL and see if it works. And then it's easier to just move the site to 4 and then it will stay. I mean, you mean you up the requirements when you're under 4?
Yeah.
So
Now,
that when you go to 5, you don't have anything to do, pretty much.
Yeah, no, exactly. And that's why, and I know last week I said Joomla 5 is going to be a nothing burger, but what I meant about a nothing burger was that it's just you're just going to update to it. There's some new things in it, but it's not going to break anything that, if it works in Joomla 4, it should work in Joomla 5. And I did watch someone's video when they were taking a look, and all they could find that was new were some icon changes. So, and that's good. Now, I do want to mention, just because a lot of people know that I've been doing the support for PHP web design and Migrate Me 4. Migrate Me 4 is a program an extension you can install in Joomla 3, and it creates a test version, a test migration in a subfolder of your live site where you can see if Joomla 4 works. And and so with that, one of the things to keep in mind when using Migrate Me 4 is that when you get into 4.4, when you migrate to Joomla 4, you want to have that all pushed live before you test it on a higher version of PHP, because if you switch the PHP version on that your account's running on, you'll probably break your Joomla 3 site, the live site. And so Migrate Me 4 is really designed to not to allow you not to break your live site while you're testing migration. So there's a little bit of a difference there. But anyways, I'm doing support for that. So if you use that extension, there's just that consideration in your moving towards 5. All right, so let's try this again. Where the heck am I here? Okay, let's see. Phil says, Tim said it's not going to break anything. Write that down. Sure. Yeah, write that down. Yeah, and if we find out that it breaks something, then we'll just have to figure out how it gets fixed, right? And then Alexandra says custom fields and smart search in Joomla 5. Oh, that's a new thing, eh?
Yes, it is.
Nice.
Yeah, it was very demanded by people. I mean, this was one of the main features that people wanted.
Okay. All right. So what I'm going to do here, I've got my basic Joomla site, and this is what I was trying to update last week. I have a few things to update on this site. I had a co-op student design that for me just over a year ago, and there's a few things that need to be adjusted. But I'm going to go to components, and I'm going to go to stage it. And this is another program from PHP Web Design. I'm going to create a staging copy of this site so I can do my playing around today for us to go to Joomla 5. And then we'll go. And Bjorn has placed a link to his review of Migrate Me 4 there that's on the Joomla Forever site. So that's great. I'll have to check that out later on. All right. So today, let's see. All right. So today as I do this, I will make that copy run in the background. Today, in order to go to Joomla 4.4, I have to change some things in the update process so that because it's not stable, it's not out and stable. Next week at this time, because it's the 17th, so Tuesday, and today's Wednesday, the whatever it is, the 11th. Next week, 4.4 will just show as an update that's available, and you would just install it as normal. All right, and then what's going to happen after you're in 4.4? Will you be given the option? Will you have to change the options, which we'll see in a second on the site, so that you go to 5?
Yeah, you have to go to Joomla Next.
Okay, Joomla Next. Okay,
yeah.
And then in Joomla Next, it will be hello SD. She likes to stand with Ukraine. Yes. So, and then when you click next, there's going to be a test.
You may not be able to see anything. It depends what's your minimum requirements that you have on your machine. So
Okay.
if you don't have MySQL 8, for example, he will tell you you can't move.
Okay, so but it's that's there's going to be a test on the screen that you can look, and it will tell you if you have the minimum PHP.
I actually haven't tested that one.
Oh, okay.
It's always available when I test it. But we have an update system now that is even much more verbose than before. So whenever there's something wrong, it's caught up, and then the system
Okay.
tells you. Mhm.
And you know what? Next week, next Wednesday, I'm leaving for a week to my nephew's wedding in Ontario, back east. So I'm not even there won't even be. I'm not going to have a Watch and Work live stream for 2 weeks. So I'm just not going to be doing anything for my clients as far as going to updating, probably even to 4.4, just because I won't have time to address anything that might come up. But all right, so
You
let's
have the
go.
surprise when you get back.
Yeah, yeah. All right, so I've created the staging area. I'm just going to log in, and here we go. So the URL up here now says stage it. So now I can do whatever I want on here without wrecking my live site. So so we need to get into 4.4. So what we're just talking about right now, I'm going to go System and Joomla Update. Disable automatic backups for now. And we're going to go to Options. And so I want to, what did we say? Testing.
Testing, yeah,
Yeah.
testing.
So next week, you go, after you're in 4.4, you would select Joomla next, and that's where you'll be offered 5. But we're going to go testing, and we're looking for release candidates, correct?
Yes.
All right. And this is what I was missing last week. So, all right. So I'm going to save and close. And here we go. Yeah, I have to. Hey, let me just extension system, open a new tab here. I'm just going to go to plugins and backup for Akiba system backup and update, and unpublish that. Okay. Uh-oh. There we go. All right. Let's see. Alexandra asked, does Stage It work with any version of Joomla? It works in 3, it works in 4, so that means it's going to work in 5. And non-Apache web servers, I think so, because it just runs in Joomla. So I think that it does. That's a good question. And there's Danico. Hello. Okay, and Shuriel, is that how that's pronounced, Olivier?
Sure.
Shirila?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, Shirila.
That's
Okay.
SD. Yeah.
Yeah, I saw the SD, and then my mind went blank on the name there. Okay, so so here's the pre-update check for 4.4.0 release candidate, 7.2.5. Yeah, everything's good here. But hey, what's it saying about extensions? Page Builder CK, YouTube Gallery Package, and Scroll to CK. Update required, and need more information. I wonder if that. Let me just run a quick thing here, because I don't want to get stuck in the weeds here. Is there... oh yeah, there is updates there. Minor update, though, so I think I'm going to be fine.
Yeah, usually the latest updates on extensions are usually to fix things to make it work in Joomla 5.
Yeah. Okay, so I think it'll be fine. Anyways, it's Watch Me Work live stream. Hello, Imran. What have you missed? Well, we're taking another look at Joomla 5, and Olivier Buissard is here. Last week it was a train wreck because I was driving the train, but Olivier is watching, giving me a training thing again. Okay, so getting me classified here on this again. All right, so we'll go back here to, Joomla update. Oh, this is the window here. Okay. All right, let's just do it.
There's no backward incompatibilities between 4.3.4 and 4.4.
Yeah. Okay, so we're going to go OK, and we're going to update. and I'm aware, so I'm going to start the update. And off we go to the races. It's there, and look at that. Everything is good. It's running nice, and I have some of those things. There's an update to 4.3.4 available. How about that?
Yeah, that's because it's RC, so
Yeah,
it
because
may.
it's RC, but that's fine. That's all right. So now the next thing is, if we pretend that this is next week and I've just done the normal update to Joomla 4.4, then what I want to do is change this site, this account, this web hosting account to PHP 8.1 to make sure that everything is working. And to do that on my server, we can go into cPanel, and up here I type PHP. We go to multi-PHP manager. And for those of you that are nervous about doing stuff like this or worried about breaking your site, if this breaks something on your site, it doesn't change anything in your install. You can just switch it back. So here's basicjoomla.com. Oh, it's already running on PHP 8.1. Ah, nice. All right. So again, here, if I had, if it was running PHP 8.0 or 7.4, I would have to change it to 8.1 to work. Okay. So that's great. We're already there. So if I am there, that means the next step that I can do is install the release candidate. That's the wrong tab. Easy. Is install the release candidate 2 of Joomla 5. And to do that, we want to go to the GitHub for Joomla, and here is release candidate 2, and I'm just going to download the zip. Oh, that's new installations. Olivia, I want to use update from a previous version of Joomla, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Now, again, everybody, you're not going to, let's see here. Again, everybody, you're not going to have to do this next week because it's going to offer you the download when you switch to Joomla next and run through the test and then, and that. So, but for today, we're just looking at Joomla 5 and playing around. So here we go. All right. So I'm going to download the zip. And let's just put it up here. All right, at the top of my delete. Great. And now we go back into our Joomla site, and I'm going to go to, all right, here, I'm going to go to Joomla update, right? System, I guess I could have clicked there. Joomla
Yes. It's the same.
update. And now I'm going to go to upload and update, correct?
Yes.
All right. Now, again, you don't have to do this next week. This is just today a testing thing. Well, you can do it this week, though, for testing. You'd like that, wouldn't you?
Well, the more you test, the better. The
Yeah,
chances of
exactly.
finding issues before it releases.
All right, so I'm selecting release candidate 2, and let's see. All right. So I've got that selected, and now we're going to upload and install it. And we'll wait for that. Last week, the uploads were taking quite a while. I don't know what it was, although my computer's pretty good for speed as well. So anyways, we'll just wait and watch. And man, it's already going way better than last week, Olivier.
It's going faster. You're going further along.
All right. I wonder if it's my computer doing antivirus scan on this before it releases it to be uploaded. Because otherwise, everything else is fast. We'll see. Let's see. What have we got up here? No, it's done. All right. Well, we'll just wait here. Olivia, what's your... Oh, here we go. I'll ask you that another time. Password here. And then we go install. And there we are. Your site is now Joomla version 5.0.0 release candidate 2. And
so we don't have a new theme there. You have to be aware that if your browser is set up to be dark mode, to be using dark mode, your Joomla version is going to turn in dark mode.
yes, and we played around with that last week. Now up here in the top right, I have this little add-on to my browser. Oh, it says current state light. Oh, there you go. So I've got a couple things here. I think this has thrown me off on a new project that Phil Taylor has as well. A couple times I've sent him screenshots, but I think it's just sort of this tool that I've got here. So this is actually light, but it's showing up kind of dark. But my Windows is on in dark mode. So watch. Let me just go. I don't think you can see this in the screen capture here, but if I go to my color settings in Windows and I select light mode on Windows, that's what we're used to seeing.
Yes.
And we looked around. We even looked at another version. Atom was Muta, which was Atom backwards, and
okay.
that D Grammatical has out. And then Bjorn is saying in chat there, thanks for the hired developer. Oh, thanks to the hired developers of Joomla 5. He's also begging me to go back to dark mode. He has a 49-inch monitor, and so right now Bjorn is getting a tan from his monitor. So I think I'm going to leave it this way, though, Bjorn, just because it's what we're used to and it's a bit clearer to see. Although, look up here now, if I do my switch on the browser, it does go to this dark mode here. So let's go to the home dashboard here. And yeah, that's super dark. Doesn't bother me. Of course,
yeah, that's not the real dark mode. You get the dark mode from the style sheet from Atom. It should be different. I think the extension takes over some of the styling.
Yes. So if I turn that off here, why don't we just do this again? And just for looking at that, if I go back to my color settings and change it to dark on my computer, that's what you're talking about, right?
Yes, that should be that.
Okay, yeah. That's what you should see for dark mode. Okay. But I'm going to leave it in light mode, and we'll go from there. Yeah, Bjorn's going to do sun protection. Yeah, there you go. Okay, so let's talk about what is obviously. Let me preview the site here. There it is. It's running. It still needs the same things fixed, but not because I went to 5, just because I need to do some things there. But it's running, so that's great. So now we can look at what's new in Joomla 5. Because I really want to just lay out and show that change this here. Basically, if you have your Joomla 4 site running in PHP 8.1 and you are your Joomla 4.4 site running in PHP 8.1 and you're using your server has a modern up-to-date version of SQL or a database program like MariaDB, that's it. You don't have to lose sleep. You don't have to yell and scream. You don't have to
unless you use Google CAPTCHA.
Oh, unless you use Google CAPTCHA, okay.
Yeah, Google reCAPTCHA has been removed from Joomla 5. So you can still use the invisible one. But the regular one is gone.
Oh, not that you can't use the I'm not a robot.
So no, so the on the new install of Joomla 5, you don't have any CAPTCHA at all. You have to download an extension.
Okay. Okay, that's interesting. Okay. All right. So that'll be great. Hey, now listen. You know what? I keep thinking like, oh, I'll make a video about that, and then afterwards it's like, what the heck was I going to do? So let me just make a little note to myself right now. Otherwise, I get no. Okay, so no reCAPTCHA in this, no default reCAPTCHA. So is that something that extension developers are going to have to put their into their extensions, right?
Well, no, because you have to go through Joomla to get what's the captcha that's used. So the extensions don't they take what Joomla offers them. So they shouldn't have to worry about compatibility here.
Okay. So is there so there is a recapture that will work in Joomla 5. Where do we get that?
Well, you will get it from the Joomla extension directory.
Oh, okay. So it's
Yeah.
not core, but it's still there. Okay. All right. Get it from the JED. So it's still a Joomla extension. It's just not installed as core. Sorry, it's still a Joomla project extension.
The standard V2 of Google Reach Captcha is gone.
Oh, okay.
Only the invisible one is
Okay.
remaining in the core for this time around, and it will be gone in Joomla 6.
Oh, okay. Why
Yes,
is that?
yes, just because the regular one doesn't work as well anymore. I don't know if you noticed a few. I've I've seen a few people having issues with the Google reCAPTCHA, so they had to switch to something else.
I was helping someone with the site yesterday, and they had done a migration and it had failed. But they had pushed to live, then they restored, and then so they had Joomla 3 and Joomla 4 all in the same folder because of that, and of course that does not work. Anyway, so I was sorting that out for them, and when I was in there, I noticed that they had like 6,200 contacts and 6,200 users, and they were all Russian bots and all kinds of stuff. And I said, "Hey, did you know that you have all these users?" And no, I didn't know that. So, yeah. So okay, that I think that's fair because I have noticed that reCAPTCHA is not working as much. You know what I love for protecting the registration is use convert forms, create a registration form, and their honeypot thing just kills it. The honeypot field that the bots fill in, and if they filled it in, they know it's that.
Yeah.
All right, so
I also use OSPAMabot from Joomla Shack.
okay, spam.
OSPAManot, I think it's called.
Spam or not? Okay. Oh, and Michael just said there. Oh, Michael says these. Okay, sorry, let me catch up. Bjorn says RS form now have honeypot that he saw. It also has its own reCAPTCHA. Okay, so there might be some extensions that still allow you to put in the reCAPTCHA too.
Yeah, I think RS forms too.
Michael says he's been using HCAPTCHA, and that said the honeypot and Tassos works very well. Yeah. Imran says Open Graph should be included in the Joomla core. Well, guess what? Guess what, Imran? It is. And Alexander says there's also manual filling of forms by paid humans, which is a pain. Yes. Manual filling forms. Just I feel bad for the paid humans that are paid to just sit there and send spam through forms as well. That's not a really great existence.
Their whole company is doing it.
Yeah, but yeah, and that, but I imagine the people that are doing it are not being paid very much and are desperate for work. Okay, so let's talk about what's new in Joomla 5. I've got that here. No, that's fine here. Oh. There it is. Okay. Okay, so Joomla, when's Joomla 5 going to be end of life? Is it 4 years?
It's in 2 years, and then there's going to be 2 years where it's going to be around.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, 2 years it won't be developed anymore, but it'll be supported for 4, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
And this is the future of, starting with Joomla 4, that's what we're doing going forward.
Yeah.
It's a really weird major one.
Yeah. Okay, so this is awfully bright, so I am going to switch to dark mode. There we go. That's easier. Okay, so dark mode improvements. I like that there's not some that you have to go in and change a setting so it runs in dark mode. That is just working with your device.
Yes.
You can still change the CSS if there's something that you want for the dark mode, but at least you can do that, right?
Yeah, of course. It's but for the backend of Joomla, it's nice to be able to just use the settings you have on your computer.
Yeah.
It's much easier.
Yeah, every now and then I'll use a program that does not have dark mode and it's like super bright and it's like, that's not what I want while I'm working late at night here. All right, so some of these things I don't understand, but
Yeah, there's a lot of technical stuff in the list though.
yeah. But automatically activate schema.org data as organization and site name. So we looked at this last week when we saw the schema plugins. So schema is just a way to better categorize or what your site is, so that search engines know what kind of content you have, so they can serve you up to the audience that's looking for you. Is that fair?
In a nice way. I mean, in a rich widget kind of way when you are on the search page.
Yeah. So if we go to
Actually, it would be the nicest thing to do when you are in Joomla 5 is start with the setup of the schema.org
okay.
plugin.
And to do that, we're going to go to System and Plugins.
Yes.
All right. And now we're going to search for schema. And the one that we want is systemschema.org, correct?
Yes, this is it.
Right. And then you're basically going to say, hey, what am I? Am I an organization or a person? Is my website an organization or a person? And what is your organization's name? Oh, now look, it says Basic Joomla. There we go. You can, for the SEO, you should have something that, some kind of graphic, some kind of logo that you can.
That would be nice so that people have like a visual clue when they go to the search page.
Yes. And so let's see. All right. I'll just throw in my CyberSalt logo here. Okay. And that's that's probably too wide. But anyways, you know the idea. And then here you can also add your social media accounts. So if I go to, let's go www.facebook.com/cybersalt. There we go. So I could put my Twitter in there. I could put my LinkedIn. And basically, this is a great way for in search results, so that people search for you and Google serves you up and they say, hey, look, here's this company, or here's who this person is, how to contact them. Here's their social media, and that's nice. So that's built into Joomla now.
Yes.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay. Hello, Serge. Good to see you. And subforms. Is that what you're talking about, Olivier? We'll talk about it.
No. What subform is the. I guess he makes a point about the social media being a subform field.
Oh, right. Oh, okay. Yeah. Yes. This is a subform field here because you can, instead of, so the beauty of the subform field in Joomla is that instead of opening this up and you having fields that say Facebook, Twitter, and where you fill in the information if you have it, here you are just filling in the things that you want, and you can keep making as many as you want. And that is great. You don't end up having some here for Yandex or a whole bunch of empty stuff. It's only what you've got, and that's the nice thing about subforms. All right. So the other things here, other schema plugins are here.
These are the default ones that have been created for this version of Joomla, but it's something you can complement, and then you can keep creating plugins for different types of schemas.
Okay. And
So
so if I have a if my site is a cooking site and I have a recipe, then I can add that as a schema type to the existing schemas, and so Google will say, hey, not only is this company such and such a name, but they've got recipes, and you can allow in the articles you will select which schema it is, correct?
yes,
Okay,
yeah,
so
you have to go to.
and you can say that this schema is allowed in articles or contacts, or it's forbidden. And if nothing is selected, are they all available?
Yeah, I think so. Yes.
Okay, so let's just check that out. So let's go to content and articles, and we will do some pretending. Oh, look, here's tests. I don't really have many things on here. Let's go test, and then when that opens up, look, we have a schema tab here. And what is this article? It is a recipe. And now you can go in and you can fill out all kinds of more information that you want to be supplied in search results, or let search engines know about all the things that are related. Because, so basically, the search engine is saying, hey, if this is a recipe, tell us all this information because we want to be able to give it to people who are looking for it. So, and it actually says, well, look, you can even list the ingredients here and how many calories. So if someone is Googling for a donut recipe that is under 50 calories, that's going to help in the search results.
Yes. So the most complete, the better, because then it gives much more information to the crawlers to know what you have in your page.
Yeah. And Alexandra has placed in the link there a list of a comprehensive list of the schema.org.
All the types that are available.
Yeah.
There are a lot of, yeah.
So more and more are probably going to work their way into the core here.
Yes, and then you're probably gonna get developers adding types in the JED, the Joomla extension directory, probably.
Great. Okay, so that is new and that is nice. All right. Okay, I've got too many tabs open here, so let's move a few things around here. Yeah, that's whoops, Daisy. Let's move that over there. Okay. All right, speed improvements. We love those. More improvements for dark mode style. Issue with session handling for error reporting has been resolved. Event argument setters now used on set callback. This all means stuff to you, Olivier, right?
Yes, it's more for the developers.
Yeah. Okay, improved 8.1 PHP 8.1 compatibility. Bootstrap 5.3.2 update. All changes from 4.4. Okay, yeah. Stabilization and cleanup. New dialog design improvements. Design improvements on dark mode for Atom. Yeah, many improvements on cleanup and readability for source code. That's for everybody who's reading the source code and programming. Minimum Node.js version. Workaround updating issues for system plugins using deprecated classes. Removed WinCache support. Several custom implementation of scheduled tasks have been moved from system plugins to scheduler plugins. So that's just tidying up, looking for type of things. Block and unblock are now logged to the action log. Hey, do you know what I noticed about Joomla 4, just as it comes to mind, Olivier, is this. You know how in Joomla 3, if you save an article as copy, when it makes the copy, it starts out unpublished. In Joomla 4, when you save as a copy, it starts out published.
I've not noticed.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe it should be when you copy, it's unpublished.
Yeah, because when you make a copy, I think it makes an alias that you might not want and have to deal with some of the things. But yeah, I noticed that the other day.
I think I've seen this before, and I wonder if there's a bug that has been fixed.
Yeah.
Or do you
Well,
still have that?
Well, let's give her a try.
Yeah, the Joomla, do it under Joomla 5 and see.
Okay. Oh, there we go. Let's try that. Let's go here. Here's an article. I'm going to open it up. And I'm going to go to save as copy. No, it's published.
Well, that's weird.
All right.
That doesn't make sense to me. I'm gonna say one.
Okay. I'm going to leave that one with you.
Yeah.
All right. Let's see, because I won't read all of these here because that's everybody else can read as well. Block and unblock are now logged to the action log. That's great. So if you block someone, it makes a little note saying who blocked them. There's Zulima. Hello, Zulima. Good to see you today. And Vinny. Vinny wishes that they used UI kittens rather than Bootstrap. Michael says, does it happen if you copy from the list icon? Oh, that's interesting too.
Duplicate?
Yeah, so if I select this test here, sorry.
Yeah.
And I go action and publish, unpublish feature. Is there a way to duplicate?
No, you can. There's only a few places where you can duplicate right from here. You may be able to do a batch if you do the batch.
Oh, batch. Okay, batch. Okay. Copy or move. Copy. Keep it right. Copy. You'd have to move it to a different category.
You can do a copy and...
Let's see. It's in main category. Yeah, okay, let's see. So that's test, actions, batch, main category. Oh, copy. Okay, action performed, copy, process. And that, the 5. Oh, now that way it is unpublished. Good catch, Michael. Yeah, so it is unpublished, but not when you do the save as copy.
I don't know if that's something that's changed as the behavior or if it's a bug.
Yeah. Is it a feature? Is it a feature or something?
Yeah, is it a feature?
No, but of course, when you like here, like I use 4SEF, so sometimes especially if you create a new article and it's pinging out as soon as you make a new article, it would ping out the alias, which you don't want because I don't, if I'm making a copy, I don't want the 2 at the end here. I might want to give this a whole different title and have a different alias. So that's why.
Yeah.
All right. Block and block. Okay. Improved confirm dialogues. Oh, confirm dialogues use the new Joomla modal window.
You can see a good example of that is if you open the guided tours.
Okay. Take a tour.
And if you go to see all tours, show all tours at the bottom.
Okay. And that's a
new dialog window.
That's a new modal window.
Yeah.
All right. And that's just something else, something different popping that up. Why is that better?
Well, it's not using Bootstrap. I don't
think. All right.
It's independent from the framework.
Okay. Is there a new tour in guided tours?
Yeah, it's a dialog element. Ask Imran.
Oh. So it. Okay.
It's a web component actually. It's a web component that created for Joomla specifically.
Oh, okay. Great. Is there a new guided tour?
Well, there was a planning on having a welcome tour in the guided tours, but it's been delayed.
Okay, it's delayed. Okay.
Yeah, it's going to come in 5.1.
Okay. And you and I have talked about this. I don't think we talked about it online, but it would someday we'll be able to export and import guided tours. You think?
Yes, we are actually in a good advancement of a tool that will allow people to import and export and as a package tours, and they will be installable as a regular extension.
Yeah, that'll be nice because you can make your custom tours for clients on things that you're doing, and then just put them in the site and have them available. Or developers can do that too. Yeah, here's a custom tour of how to use my extension. So that's going to be really cool.
So it would create a package with all the information for the tours, all the images if there are images included, and
Okay.
all the language files if there are any.
Nice.
But it will be independent from the release. So it is a tool that may be available before Joomla 5.1 comes on.
Oh, okay.
So
All right. Tiny MCE 6.7 update and image alignment implemented. Okay. And we looked at this last week. I still think that still not a fan of how Tiny MCE does images, but in fact, and this is JCE. that's how much a fan.
true.
That's how much of a fan that I am of that. But let's just go to System, Global Configuration, and let's change this to Tiny MCE. Save and close. Content, articles, and we'll go into here. Alexander points out someday there'll be a front-end guided tour, for example, for job boards, onboarding, or agency new team member onboarding. Yeah. Article text. Oh, that's, am I? Oops.
The maybe it's dark mode at the
Okay.
Yep.
Let's just.
What
No, there's not even a field there.
There is nothing in there.
Yeah.
The editor is not loading.
Yeah.
Did you switch the editor?
I did. Oh, switch the user. Let's try that. User, manage, Tim, basic settings, editor. Just use default.
Yeah, so it should be. Make sure that the plugin is enabled also.
Oh, okay. Yeah, good
the list
idea.
of editors.
And that could be because this was a site that we migrated. And migrate me for.
Oh, so it may be disabled.
Yeah, migrate me for runs on core. Let's see. No, it's there. It's published.
Or would it be page builder going in a way?
No, because you have to switch. No, let's try this though. Oh, sorry. Extensions, manage. I do have template creator CK in here, so let's go builder, page builder. Let's just turn that off. Okay, content articles. Let's go to feature article test. No.
Yeah, I don't see why it's not. You go and you toggle the editor, you still see the view correctly, but
Yeah.
that's not showing the actual plugin. You know, they may be, a couple of remaining bugs here and there. So
Yeah.
sure that
Well, I can give you I can give you access to this too if you want to look at it later.
definitely.
And that's why we like people testing. Okay, what's
So you want to put back JC, right?
Oh yeah, I can. I'll do that later on. All right. So, uh, Emmer says TinyMC is not activating global configuration. Oh, yeah. Bjorn says try a new article. Alexander says default editor is code mirror. No, I changed that. But you know what we could try is this: is Control Shift and R to force the browser refresh. There. No.
Yeah, he still doesn't want to load it. Can you check if there is a JavaScript error in the console of the
Yeah.
browser?
F12. Oh, there we go. Failed decoding. It's my. Oh, okay. Custom CSS is. That's for the PHP decoder. Error content decoding failure widgets. Media player. SQL queries widget.
Yeah, custom CSS. Well, CSS shouldn't be blocking anything.
No.
Mm-hmm.
Tiny MCE skins. Error decoding failed.
So maybe there's a skin issue.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's try this here. First of all, I'm going to go to system. All right. Well, let me just turn this back on because I don't. Well, we'll leave that off. Let's go to system, global configuration, and tiny MCE. I'm also going to do this, which I did the other day that fixed something. And that was core. Enable cores. Oh, no. There you go. Yeah, and Imran says change the skin to tiny MCE. Yeah, let's try that.
Yeah.
Okay,
You should have gotten the default.
Well, of course, this isn't a default install either, right? So,
Oh, yeah, that's true.
manage plugins, MCE, advanced skins. Where do we do skins? Oh, here we go. Site skin default.
Are you in your group? In the right group?
I think yeah, the one for administrator here set 0.
Okay. Yeah.
Site
So
skin. Well, let's just switch to tiny MCE 5. That's okay. Toolbar mode, images directory content. Custom CSS. No, nothing there. Let's try that. Let's go here. And let's go Control Shift and R. No.
that is a lot. I don't know what I can think of.
Yeah. Serge says, look at the group in Tiny.
I don't think there's the plugin group, you mean?
Yeah, I think that's what
I
it
think
means.
there's one.
Let's go here to clear. Filter options, select type.
Yeah, then you would have to go to the server and see if there's anything in the logs that would show you what's wrong.
Yeah.
But
Tiny MCE. No, that's the only thing that's there.
yeah, I don't think there's anything else.
Yeah, Nimmer said use incognito to confirm browser cache error. I can do that. I don't think that. Yeah, I don't think that. Let's just try this here. Clear cache. Delete all. There Let's also try this. Let's
I remember
close.
seeing this issue before, but I don't remember what I did to fix it.
User menu, log out. I'm still getting this a few widgets things that are... Oh, here, you know what? I'm using Brave browser, and it's got a shield up here. I wonder if that's doing it. Oh, that's not what I want.
Yeah, sometimes when you have extension from the browser and they get in the way, when going to an incognito mode of the browser prevents any extension that's outside to intercept.
All right, well, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put our lovely faces up there while I copy my password here for this site, and I'll just try it in a Tor page. Let's copy that and copy that. New private window with Tor. And then we go basicjoomla.com. And what time are we here? 12:11. Okay, so and then I'm going to paste this in and go Control V and paste that in. Log in and go to Content Articles and go to I logged into the I logged into Stage It. I need to log into Stage It. There we go. Log in. Just testing this off screen here. Go to there. No, same thing. All right. Well,
I'm trying to look at a solution.
A great way to fix that is this. Go to System, Global Configuration, and then for default editor, select JCE. All right.
No, that's not going to help.
Okay. What else have we got here? Tiny archive content can now be excluded from Smart Search. That's great. Improved web installer. Sample data improvements. Show and filter rules are now applied to custom fields. AVIF support for Media Manager. That's always nice to have another media type. The new modal window added. Yeah. All right. So you already mentioned that. Removed the no longer working reCAPTCHA plugin. And it wasn't working because it's not stopping things. Okay. One-time it's not stopping things as well as it used to. Yes. One-time password field now is a proper autocomplete setting. Activate translation. Repository for Joomla 5. Schema.org. We looked at that. Smart Search now, index now, contact images.
No, it doesn't index them. It shows the contact images when the.
Oh, okay. Oh, so if you have contacts and my face is there, then it will show the image next to in the result.
Yes.
Oh, that's cool. All events have been migrated to their own classes. What does that mean?
That's the PHP code. Yeah.
All right. Well, yeah, you probably won't be able to explain it to me now anyways. Toolbar is now available in HTML document. Code mirror is now used in Tiny MCE again. Oh, so that's code mirror when you go to the code view?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Fixes for PHP 8.2. So that's something that, and I think that I understand this. The difference between a warning and an error, if you turn on error reporting, oftentimes when a site is not working, and you're getting a 500 error. So you turn on error reporting. All of a sudden, you can be presented with a whole page load of warnings, and then there's an error. So a warning is basically just saying, hey, this is not going to work in a future version of PHP. And
Yes.
those warnings are there for developers like you who are working away and say, that's okay, I should find a new way to change that, so someday this is not going to work.
Mm-hmm.
And what happens is that when a new version comes out of PHP, they, instead of saying, hey, we're just giving you a warning, now it's like, no, that's broken, we don't do that anymore. And so sometimes people, I've also seen those fun posts in forums where it says, oh, I'm getting all these warnings, how do I fix them? And then they say, oh, I fixed it, I turned error reporting off. So it's like if you've got a big huge dent in your car and you fix it by closing your eyes. Oh no, the dent's not there anymore.
Yeah, a lot of people think that a warning is an error also.
Yeah.
So they feel like there is an issue that needs to be fixed. Something that's definitely something that needs to be fixed, but it's not as urgent as it is if it was something that breaks the site.
Okay. Yeah. Bjorn says, or he has a link to a form processing tip that he has to try to stop spammers. So you can check out that link. And Alexander says, more secure way to do this is to enable the Joomla logs because it might show on your live site. Okay. Yeah, so enable a Joomla logs. Okay.
That way you can catch the errors and you have all the information in the log file.
Yeah, and where do you enable that in Joomla somewhere, right?
Well, what you do, you have to have access to a server pretty much,
Oh, okay.
or there are also extensions that can also show the logs of your
Okay.
web.
All right. Okay.
Yeah, but it usually is under administrator logs. So
Okay.
that's where you find where the log files are, and then if you look through it, you can find errors if there are any.
All right. So let's see here. That's where. All right. So if one thing about the logging on the server, it says, yeah, you have to have access. If you go to PHP, here in this cPanel account, I can go to multi-PHP in the editor. I can select the location and what PHP version it's running. So let's see, basic Joomla. And then in here, I can turn on display errors, whether they should be printed to screen. But these are still logged anyways, right, on the server. And,
yes, but if it was off, you wouldn't see them.
Yeah, okay. And so that needs to be on sometimes to see the errors we want to see in Joomla. Is that correct?
Yes, you have that option visible when you update actually Joomla in the pre-check. This one of the display error is one of the checkbox that tells you if it's on or off.
Okay.
So you know.
So if I go here and go to File Manager, and this is in public HTML, you said the error logs are usually an administrator logs.
Yep.
And then you're looking for error.php to read, right?
Yep.
And if we go view, we can see that here there was a failure of, this is just basic people trying to log in without the proper password.
When you update, there's also a Joomla update file, but I don't see any here. But that's for when you update, and
okay,
maybe somewhere else.
Deprecated.php, 2 gigabytes. Wow.
That what I don't know. I don't know if it's a PHP or
last written today at. I wonder if that's a list of errors showing things that are deprecated.
Probably, yes.
Hey, let's delete that, because that's just bloating up my backups, I bet.
I don't think the logs are saved in the backup.
Pardon me?
I don't think the logs are saved in the backup.
Oh, okay.
I don't remember.
In a Kiva backup?
Yeah.
Okay.
If not, it's something you can change if you want them to be saved.
Alexander says you have to enable global configuration logging everything. System global configuration logging. Is that a logging? Oh, almost everything. Oh, let's see. Logs everything except deprecated APIs. Ah, so that's probably something you will. Okay. Hey, that's again. Let's see.
And you see the folder for your log file is a little different. It's in the administrator staged logo logs.
Oh, right. Well, that's because I'm running in stages. So, oh, that's right. That's that needs to be switched around. Yeah, that's an issue in stage it that is written that backwards. Or as my dad would say, bass backwards. Log. Okay, I'm leaving myself a note here. Log almost everything. Global config. All right. Let's see here. I just have to, again, if I don't do this, I will miss that. And then I also need to make a note here for that. Sign that to me. Give it a date of tomorrow so get remembered here. And all right. Thank you everybody for waiting, but most of these notes will show up on the channel, so that's helpful. All right, log deprecated API. I wonder if that is what that deprecated file is.
I would say probably, yeah.
Yeah.
I never have that option on my website. That's why I didn't.
Okay. I'll look into that too. Let's see, MM4.
But yeah, like if that's the case, that they can fill up very quickly because of all the PHP errors.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, warnings you can have.
Yeah, log deprecated API. And that obviously must be in a in Joomla 4, right?
Yeah.
Hey, all right. That's good. I'm so disappointed. I didn't do a maintenance Monday this week because it kind of got late and I couldn't remember other things I was going to do. So, all right, down here in chat, is there a way of testing, checking things without staging? Well, yeah, Imran, you can make a copy of your site and install it in a subdirectory, and you can test. And then if it works, duplicate it. As you know, I'm lazy for the fiddly stuff, so I like to click once and have a copy, and then if it doesn't work, delete it and click once, as opposed to do a backup, create this, install, and all that. So Alexander says in PHP, any display error should always be disabled on production sites, but you might want to enable log errors in PHP any. Okay. Direct approach. Imran says, asking direct approach. I don't know what you mean, but hey, you, if you like the Wild West, just don't take a backup of your site and just update and see if it works. Don't do that. All right, we're almost to the end of the list here. Possibility of serving Joomla from a public folder. What is that?
Well, it's something that you cannot do from the console. You have to have a little knowledge of CLI. It's something you can do from a server and do an install of Joomla into a public folder. That's a technique that allows you to kind of dissociate where files are, and then it's like encapsulates the files in a way that the site is more secure that way.
Okay.
It makes it more difficult to access.
All right. So
There's a video from Dimitri that talks about it. It's a little complex if you're not technical, uh, but yeah, it's a way of installing Joomla differently than
okay.
the normal way.
And that's the great thing about, I mean, we have such a diverse community. So there's stuff in here I don't even understand. I don't need to understand everything. But people are excited about those things. Like when I say, oh, finally you can do such and such, I like, one of these features like schema. Oh, hey, that's a great addition. Someone else is like, oh, finally I can serve Joomla from a public folder, what I've always wanted to do. And I'm, okay, good for you, man. Phantasm 6.4, Tiny MCE 6.1, Web Auth libraries being updated, smart search improvements, debugging additional taxonomy options, indexing custom fields, CodeMirror 6, backward compatibility plugin, allowed to order the backend menu. This was
Yeah,
something
that's something you couldn't do before. If you go to the website,
okay. How do I do it?
so you go to menus,
Menus.
yeah, and then you go to manage.
All right. And view administrator.
No, you stay in there.
Okay.
Here you have only one menu, so it doesn't make any difference. No, if you had several menus, you'll be able to order them. Until now, they were showing all in the same order.
You could order the actual menus.
Yes, not the items,
okay.
but the menus. Yeah.
You know what I thought that was? Allowed to order the back end menu. What I thought it was is that I could change the order of things here.
Well, you could do it if you create an administrator menu for yourself.
Okay. And then assign it to here. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So to do that, I would go to administrator.
You have to create an administrator menu, yeah.
New. Okay. My admin menu. Yeah, Control A, copy. Control V. Import a preset. I don't want to. Do I want to import a preset?
Well, yeah, otherwise you're not going to have anything until you create new items. So
all right. So that okay. I would give that a wing. My admin menu. Okay. So now if I go to all menu items and go to administrator, my admin menu. Oh, and then I can. Oh, then I can move those around.
Well, the items in the menu you could before, but it's the menu themselves. What you see on the left side, under menu, is what can be moved around. You have a menu here for administrator and one menu for the site.
Yeah.
But if you had several of them, you will be able to move them around and order them differently.
Yeah. Yeah. So. But it's the menu items.
But the menu items, you could already do that.
But you had to create a menu.
Yeah, you have created a new menu. If you create the second administrator menu, then you'll be able to have either one first in the list.
Okay. But not. I had to create a menu though to see these, right?
Yes, you have to create a new menu. Yeah.
And then I assign that menu over here and turn off the default one, I guess. Then otherwise I end up with two.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah. It's a detail, but when you have a lot of menus under the menu folder, that really can help put some order in there.
Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. So all menus and manage. And if I had another menu here, I could move it around.
Yeah, exactly. If you create a new different, and you can create one very quick.
Yeah, I was just super excited about reorganizing
No,
reorganizing.
what there is one thing that would be interesting to look at is the compatibility menu. I mean plugin.
Okay, I'm just making myself a note here.
In Joomla 5, we have a new plugin that allows extensions from Joomla 4 to be fully compatible with Joomla 5 if some of the code inside those extensions is not fully compliant. The compatibility plugin can make it compliant. It doesn't always, but most of the time it does. So this is a plugin that's enabled by default when you move to Joomla 5. So that makes all the extensions work properly from Joomla 4 to 5 right away.
There we go. If you use this extensions which are not using the current Joomla coding standards, then this plugin, when enabled, will provide backward compatibility to the prior major version. Okay, so basically, is what this backward compatibility does? Is it sort of a find and replace when code is being served?
Yes, it actually makes it like making a table of where the old classes were and where they are now, because now we use a namespace in PHP with Joomla, and before we had an API that didn't do that, then you use that. So it's like a table of equivalence between all functions to make sure that people using the old functions can still find the new ones.
Okay. So it's like an adapter. When I traveled when I went to Europe, I had an adapter for plugging in my laptop with my North American plug and different things. Yes. So I saw yesterday that John Dagamore announced that all of his extensions are J5 compatible without the compatibility plugin. And Ruud van Lent announced that as well. Imran's asking, will it check automatically? It's on by default in Joomla. Is there an advantage to turn that off if you know you're only using just things there's a speed boost?
Huge. It's going to be a huge speed boost. Yes.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. So if you can have extensions that are only that are fully compliant with compatibility with Joomla 5, then you are in an advantage here. Yeah.
Okay.
It will ease your server and it makes it easier on it.
All right.
Well, don't fume anymore. No, it's really a big boost if you can use the Joomla 5 core code right out.
So turning this, if that's all so if you're using everything that works with Joomla 5 core, and you turn this plugin off, just turning the plugin off, will it give you a boost?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because he will stop looking for.
Okay, I like that.
Requests, and also if you do switch that off, if you're not sure if it's going to work for you or not, make sure you have access to the database.
Okay.
Because you may break the site by doing so.
Yeah.
So it would just be a matter of re-enabling the plugin from the database side to fix it.
Good point. Let me just add a note to the note I just made for myself for a video about that, because yeah, that's that. Great. Oh man, so many ideas, and I'm writing them down, so that's good. So Vinny says that regular Labs extensions are compatible with J5, at least the ones that he uses. Yeah. Imran says, if so, any chance of disabled by any server antivirus? Its behavior is like malware. Is there a chance that your server might think, oh, what this is doing?
No. It's an event like any other event in Joomla. I don't think it's gonna be caught up by any antivirus or anything.
Okay. Oh,
It's
this time.
regular. It's regular use of the Joomla framework.
Yeah, and it's happening on the server. So, all right. Well, is there anything else? It says, and many more.
Yes, I there are a few articles out there if you want to look at what's new in Joomla 5.
Okay.
There is one from Joomla Art, and there is one from webo.net,
Okay.
and then also a nice article, a digital pic that talks about Joomla 5 and why things have been done this way in terms of technical stuff.
Okay.
So these are articles that are pretty interesting to read.
All right. So you do a quick Google what's new in Joomla 5, and if they've done their schema properly, it will come up well.
Yeah, exactly. Actually, I tried earlier doing research, and these three articles show up right away.
Okay. Great.
So,
So your extensions they're all Joomla 5 core?
they all work with the compatibility plugin enabled, and I'm still testing to make sure that they work fine without it. But yeah, they will be.
Hey, here's something encouraging for you. Imran says you need some kind of AI to achieve what you're thinking of. So yeah,
Exactly.
we could just get rid of you and just have AI and say, hey, here, see this extension, make it work for Joomla 5, and it'll just wing it in there.
True. I mean, I know that they're probably gonna be, or probably some people already tried it.
When you're updating your extensions, are there some things that you can do by just doing like a find and replace?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can do that. So
Yes, and there's also uh, great work has been done in 4.3 actually by Benjamin Trinkle. He went all over all the API, and he auto-deprecated functions that are there in the code. Have an example of how it should be used in the future once the code has been deprecated and not used anymore. So there are good examples right in the core for developers. I mean, if they want to look at it, and then do a search, and it's not really search and replace, but at least a search for changes in the code. There is documentation, very
nice.
documentation for manual for developers. So
Yeah, I mean, there's so many people contributing so many different things to the project, and a lot of it goes unseen, and a lot of it, I mean, part of it goes unseen is because not everybody understands it. I mean, look at all the stuff that I don't understand that we've looked at, but I'm grateful for it and for the people who have done it. And I think it's good for us to remember that, that again, they're all people, right? When I think I forget where I was having this conversation, but every now and then, for instance, we're well into the stream here, so take a look at what happened at Roshan just over a week ago. Something happened. Their clients, so many people said, "Oh, they're really great." I was talking to someone yesterday on a Zoom call, and they said, "Oh yeah, Roshan has really saved me a number of times." Some people say Rock and Roshan. I don't know which it is, but so when stuff happens, nobody sets out to cause their client sites to be down for a short period of time or a long period of time. And you got to remember that those are just everyday people that, especially when that went south, did not go home at 5 o'clock to their family to have supper and a nice evening. They're there trying so sometimes we take those opportunities, or some people view them just like as a chance to just rage at people or get mad. But I've used this example, another with ACY mailing, they had that vulnerability that had been around for a long time, just like lots of software has. Even Joomla's had 0-day stuff and vulnerabilities. And I just imagine if my son owned ACY mailing and called me up and says, "Oh, Dad, you should see this such and such and happen. I wouldn't think like, oh, what are you doing? All these people you didn't protect, and that I would, you would have that relationship with them. So it's good for us. It's good for the community to be able to look at people and remember that that somewhere Olivier is working, trying to figure out this little code so everybody else's sites can continue to make them money, and that's good. Vinny says, "Don't remind me his final sites just got restored." Hey, Olivia, I just took a look, and I went, and that deprecated.php file is now 2 megabytes, which is much easier for me to look at, and it is warning. Yeah, it's just a list of warnings of stuff that's deprecated.
Oh, actually, the way it shows the deprecation of the Joomla code itself. So, yeah.
Yeah. So I guess if we turn that off, that will keep your log from getting big doing that. Because this is, and I say this with great affection, this is just nerd information, right?
Yeah. Actually, it's very useful for developers to know what they have to change in the code.
Totally. No, I get it. But anyways, yeah, that's great. Oh man, I'm looking forward to making a video about that.
But it's
Are you a
just
non-nerd that wants to save space? Go turn this off.
Yeah, exactly. These are just warnings so that they are there so that you know that in the future you can't use that function you're using.
Yeah.
And you can replace it at some point.
I've got and Alexander says nerd here. On the scale, on the spectrum of nerds, I'm probably, I don't know where I would be, probably in the middle, but yeah, sometimes you get so much stuff going on and someone starts to over explain things. It's just like, I just need to, the answer is no, thanks, I don't need to know why, just no, and move on. So
as long as it works.
That could be the same thing. Well, just imagine on my server, because that is 2 gigabytes from having run for a year or something like that. If I have that situation on 10 sites, that's 20 gigabytes. That's a lot of space. And of course that file doesn't get backed up. You're saying it doesn't get backed up in the Kiba, but it does get backed up on the server probably. So
yes, yeah. If you do it through the server, through your host, probably saves it. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's gonna be helpful. Michael Cuff says, "Don't worry, Tim. Whatever the clever guys do, we'll find a way to break it." Yeah. Or what's the saying? Just when you make something idiot-proof, they go and invent a better idiot. So. Yeah. All right. So let's talk. And I really appreciate your time and coming on here. This is so much better than last week. Let me find the page here. All right. What are the plans for Joomla 5? It's the start of a journey. It's a new major version, cleaned up foundation for future Joomla. Several projects could be part of Joomla 5. Update the system requirements to PHP 8.1 and MySQL 8. That testing. Bootstrap 5.3, CodeMirror 6. Backward compatibility plugin. Heavily code change up. What do you see is going to happen? All right, in 2 years, when it goes into just receiving security releases, and I guess in 2 years we'll be talking about Joomla 6 coming out.
Exactly.
What do you think, looking back on Joomla 5, will be new? Like, what will be in 5.4?
It's a good question. And I know there's answers in terms of a developer. I mean, I know about the code. I know that it's been a lot of code deprecated since the very old version of Joomla, Joomla 2.5, Joomla 3, all the stuff that is being kept in the core of Joomla that is not used anymore. So this is a major cleanup version. I mean, it makes the code much lighter, much faster, and I mean, I can talk about it as I've been a release manager. I have seen it from the inside. it makes the extensions work better and written with smarter code. And I think everybody benefits from that, because then you get sites that are faster, that are more efficient, and the SEO is upgraded, the security is upgraded. This accessibility is even better. You get all these new technologies included in Joomla now with updated technical minimum requirements. So this is really a jump for Joomla, a jump to the future, definitely.
Yeah, I'm excited about it. You know, I had a Joomla 3 site that originally was HTML documents that I used HTML to articles to import into Joomla 2.5 or 1.5 or something. And then I've gone from the 1.5 and did the thing to 2.5, keeping content over, and then 2.5 to 3. And so that's a huge site. I've had it, you know, it's the site that I brought with me to Mambo, before Mambo. And so I used ACY mailing, send out my newsletter, and I'll tell you, when I would click and I would have to, there's one stage where I would have to click to, you create a new article, a new newsletter, and then I would have time to type in the issue number and that in the subject, and then it would open up for me to edit. And then as I went to schedule the time for it to go out, I'd have to sit there for a long time and wait till I could actually click on the calendar. So that site broke on me. It was taking over my server. I couldn't figure out what was wrong with it. So I did a quick and dirty update to a migration to Joomla 4, because it was my site, so I didn't mind, I did a quick template for it. And then I started sending my newsletter out on it, and I cannot keep up. I cannot type in that field fast enough before it comes up, because now this is running in Joomla 4, same extension, but running in Joomla 4, PHP 8.1 that I jumped up to. And it is so fast, and it saves me minutes every time I go to send out that newsletter. So it was like, oh man, if everybody could just really experience or understand the speed difference, just for the pain of using these latest things and moving up, then they would be super excited about it. And I get it when people are thinking about doing something technical. They're really afraid of having to ask for help if they break their site, or the cost of it and that. But it is so worth being on the other side with the site that's running that. And so I'm excited about 5, and that's cool.
Yes,
Olivier, thank you very much.
Yeah, you're welcome.
This is one of the better live streams that I've had in a long time. Although they're not all train wrecks, but this has really been good, and I think it's helpful information. I like you, I know myself as well, want people not to be afraid of Joomla 5, not to. People that if like, oh no, I haven't even gone to 4, and what's it going to be? Someone said to me that they were just going to wait until Joomla 5 came out and then they would migrate. And maybe they're going to or update. Maybe they're just going to recreate their site. But there is a path from 4 to 5, and with Migrate Me 4, there's a path from 3 to 5. And PHP Web Design has tools to go from 1.5 to 3 and 2.5 to 3. I mean, it's still stuff that you have to do, but so there are paths out there, and that's good. So
yeah, there's a way you can do it without putting your fingers into it too much.
Yeah.
Thanks to those tools. I think I actually have a couple of websites that are probably gonna move right from 3 to 5. I mean, going through 4, but I will go directly to 5. I don't without waiting for the client to agree or not with it, and it's gonna be just go to 5, and it's gonna save me time later down the road.
Hey, Imran has asked, is there a way to use React.js with Joomla?
I was looking into it the other day, actually. I probably is just a different way of creating views, but the framework of Joomla is not made for a React. But you could you could add your own React views and stuff like that, definitely.
Okay.
But it's like you would be going away from the framework.
Yeah. All right, now, last thing before we say our goodbyes, I'll put up the picture from J-Day USA. This is not everybody that was at J-Day USA. I think this is probably people that were helping to put it on. But J-Day USA is going to be in Nashville in 2024. Right?
Yes, definitely. Yes, April 11 to the 13th.
April 11th to the 13th.
Yeah. So
Okay.
anybody on the side of the earth is welcome to come to Nashville.
Anybody on any part of the earth is welcome to come, right?
Oh yeah. Anyway, yeah. If you
I
can.
think the total eclipse is happening in like April 8th. Not in Nashville, but I was looking the other day, and it's going to go right through Toronto, the one that's happening in April. And so I was thinking that I might plan a trip to Ontario to see my family, and then maybe catch a plane from Toronto to Nashville for J-Day USA, and then just fly home from Nashville, because I would like to see the total eclipse. And I can, well, of course, if it's sunny, then we'll see it.
Exactly.
All right. Anyway, so yeah, J-Day USA was really, really great to be together with everyone, and yeah. All right, Olivier, thank you very much. Stay on the Zoom after I say goodbye to everybody here. But now, how will I do that? That's a good question. All right, I'm going to turn Olivier into a mini-me. He's going to go and remove pin. I switched to the other side there. Oh my goodness! There we go. He can just hover around just above me, out of view there. Everybody. And then I'm going to need to find another button here. There's a lot going on here doing this on my own here. So sad music. One of these days I'm going to play that old MIDI file that we saw on my old site from years ago, but I just don't have that lined up. All right, everybody, thank you very much for tuning in. Thanks again to Olivier for his great support and all the work for the Joomla project, but also helping keep me on track today to come up with a live stream that I don't have to unpublish. Everybody out there that is doing, we'll have fun next week and in the weeks to come, and we'll just continue to enjoy Joomla as we go. So, as usual, I hope that wherever this finds you, be it morning, afternoon, evening, or tomorrow, that you are well. Until the next time, enjoy your Joomla sites, and God bless.